Kia ora, I'm Sherry Kinnear and these are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. Short and long-term implications of a slump in global markets. Many are now in bear territory, falling 20% from the most recent peak. The NZX 50 has lost about 5% of its value in the past 2 days. Herald business editor-at-large Liam Dan says people's KiwiSaver and share funds are going to look ugly for a while. He says the latest global sell-off of shares was prompted by worse than expected US inflation figures.
So 8.6% annual inflation in the US. The market was hoping to see that it had peaked, and it doesn't appear to have peaked, and so that's really rattled the confidence.
It's been another night of heavy rain and strong winds in many parts of the country. Some roads remain closed and an orange wind warning remains in effect for Hawke's Bay and Southland. But NIWA meteorologist Ben Knoll says the recent wild weather isn't necessarily a sign of what's to come this winter.
What happened just now may be one of the most wintry periods of the whole winter. So what we just had over the last week, probably more the exception for winter 2022, not the rule.
A private victim advocate is disappointed but not surprised by the findings in a review of ACC privacy breaches. It's found ACC doesn't adequately monitor or audit processes around staff access and information use. The independent review was launched after a dozen staff at the agency's Hamilton Contact Centre were caught sending client information to each other on Snapchat last October. Ruth Money says sensitive claimants are sharing the most private and vulnerable details, so it takes a lot of trust to know anyone is reading that information. She also says it makes a mockery of a service that's supposed to help vulnerable people. Doctors on the front line in Counties Monaco are under pressure and facing burnout as the winter flu season brings a surge in patients. The local Democracy Reporting Service reports a chronic shortage of GPs in South Auckland is adding to the pressure on healthcare providers. College of GPs Medical Director Dr. Brian Betty says it has a flow-on effect.
When we can't provide adequate workforce in community general practice, what we see is an overflow into emergency departments at hospitals, and we see overuse of ambulance services.
There's a desire to see the scope of the government's Ukraine visa policy expanded. The government's introduced the 2022 Special Ukraine Policy in March in response to the Russia invasion, but only about 160 people have arrived here so far. A survey by World Vision and Mahi for Ukraine has revealed barriers around application. World Vision says people are only able to sponsor immediate family members, and that's not fit for purpose. And work to improve the smell lingering over Christchurch East Side is moving into its next phase. The 16 pumps the council has been waiting for from Sweden and China have finally arrived at the Bromley wastewater treatment plant, but will take a couple of weeks to install. The council expects its interim solution to be fully operational by July. And those are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. For more and to stay up to date, head to nzherald.co.nz. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. To stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald, click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here, and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.